Hey, hi, welcome. So in this lecture, we are going to discuss about HTTP methods. So REST APIs use HTTP methods on top of HTTP protocol to perform or to manipulate any resource on the server or any applications. So so here we have an example of an e-commerce application which has exposed an endpoint. Okay. So any third-party application will hit this endpoint and get the product details here. So on the top of HTTP protocol, we are using get method to get the product details here. So basically, we use those methods to manipulate the resources. So first is the get method. So the purpose of the get method is to retrieve the data from the application. Okay, and this request is idempotent. So what does that mean? So mean even if you place multiple same request, it will should give you the same result. It doesn't make any changes, or it doesn't change the state of the server here. So and also you need not put any resource data in the request. Okay, you just have to hit the endpoint here. For example, here, so we just mentioned what is the endpoint here as one, and e-commerce application is going to process that data and send back the response. Okay, so no request body is required here, and it is idempotent. It's pretty simple. So next we have a post method here. So what is the purpose of a post method? Is to create a new resource in the server. Okay, and this is not idempotent. Means repeated request can change the state of the server. Okay, it can, for example, if you're trying to create a resource, if you place that request multiple times, it can create multiple resources. And here, if since you're creating a new resource here, so what needs to be created should be mentioned in the request body. So the request body contains the resource data that needs to be added here. For example, here we are trying to add a product of Samsung Ultra HD TV. Okay, so we in here we hit the endpoint. We mentioned what is the content type here, which we are specifying in the request body, and we mentioned the entire resource here in a JSON format. So the e-commerce application here is going to process that request and send back the response as 201, which is created. Okay, so let's move to the next one. So we have a put method here. So the purpose of the put method is to update or replace an existing resource. So post method has created the resource, but put method will can update that resource. So this is idempotent because repeated request will update the same resource. It's not going to make any change of state in the server here. So here also we need to specify the in the request body the entire resource data that needs to be updated. For example, here let's say we only want to change the price here as 600. So even if we want to change only this field, we have to specify the entire resource here, and the e-commerce application is going to process the request and send back the 200, okay, 200 response. Okay, so put method just to is you need to for updating or replacing an existing resource, we need to specify this. So let's move to the next one. There's a patch method. So patch method is similar to put method, but it's going to partially update an existing resource. Okay, again this is idempotent, means repeated request will update the same resource, but the change here is the request body should contain only fields which needs to be updated. There is no need to send the entire resource data which you used to send in the put method. So here we want to change only the price here. So we mentioned what needs to be patched. For example, this product ID needs to be changed or updated, and we just specified the field which needs to be updated here. Okay, so the e-commerce application is going to process that request for the patch, is going to send back the response. The last one is the delete method. As the name suggests, the purpose here is to delete a resource on the server, and repeated request will update the same resource. This is idempotent because even if you delete it once, again if you try to delete, it's not going to make any change in the state of the server. Again, it is as simple as get here. No request body is required here. You just have to specify what is the product ID which we need to delete here, and the application process and send back the response back here. So here is a brief summary of all the HTTP methods here. Get, okay, it's going to use to fetch the data. Post, you need to add a new data. Put is going to update the entire resource here. Patch is partially update a resource, and delete here is to remove the data. And these are the actions, and these are the idempotent here.